Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to talk about the Sig Sauer P320 M17. This here is the Sig Sauer P320 M17, which is the commercial version of what the military has adopted. And I picked it up in December of 21, and I've probably put 300 to 400 rounds through it so far. It's been very good. I have no complaints about it so far, but this will be just kind of my general overview of the gun, some other thoughts on it, that kind of stuff. We'll talk about some of the specs and features. So, getting into it, it is your standard P320 grip module. What I do find interesting about it is it actually fits my hand, I feel like, better than even my P320 compact does. And now this is a full-size handgun, so you get plenty of space on there. Your hands can fit it really well. The safety is in a very intuitive location. I actually kind of like where the takedown lever is. I get my thumb on that and helps me grip the pistol. But what I find interesting is, I don't know if they reduced the swell a little bit in the grip here or what they did, but it seems to fit me better than even the P320 compact does, which I find interesting because they probably didn't change anything, but maybe it's just a little trick of the mind. So, but yeah, it does have the beaver tail on the back here, typical SIG texturing all around it, a slight undercut on it, a little bit of texture on the front of the trigger guard, and then the usual rail for lights, lasers, that fun stuff there. And then the magazine release on this firearm is reversible, just like every other P320. And you can basically just take it to press it through, and there's a little hole on this side where you can put a punch in, and then you can swap that magazine release around for lefty, and if you're a lefty, that kind of stuff. And then, unlike most P320s, this one does have an external safety. Apparently that was a requirement for the military, and they just adopted into this as well since it's the commercial version. So, safety is ambidextrous on either side, and then the slide lock you can see is well protected on the left-hand side. It is ambidextrous as well, and it's a little shorter cut on the right-hand side of the handgun. So if you're a left-handed shooter, just be aware that you could potentially catch the front of that slide release a little easier because it's not as protected as left side is. And then the takedown lever is on the left per usual. It does have that new kind of upgraded SIG trigger in there, and just chamber's clear. It's between 5 and 5.5 pounds, and you can see it's got some take up. So there's kind of your just free movement. There's a wall, and there's your brake. And then the reset on it isn't terribly long. Right back on it, and a brake. And it makes that weird clunk noise that the SIGs make now with these newer triggers in them. Yeah, real no complaints there. It's just pretty solid trigger, just feels like a P320, nothing crazy. The grip module is in there, flat dark earth or coyote brown, whatever you want to call it. The slide is in a darker shade of that. That was a requirement for the military as well. And then it does have front serrations and rear serrations, so I do like that for press checks, loading, that kind of stuff. Now, into the sights on it, it is the SIG night sights, so both the rear and the front are a night sight. And then this one is an optics capable firearm, so this whole plate, including the rear sight, comes off to mount like a Romeo Pro 1, I believe, or Pro 0, whatever it is. To mount the SIG optic on there, you lose the rear sights. So that's something to be aware of if you are going to change it out. It also does have a loaded chamber indicator as well. So it's a pretty, feature-packed pistol. All the requirements from the military to what they wanted, they just built it for the commercial market for the civilians. So overall, I like the gun quite a bit. It's pleasant to shoot. It does have a big sight radius because it is a full-size handgun. And looking at the specs from Sig Sauer on here, the sight radius is 6.6 inches. So it's a pretty long sight radius. And I'm going to take it up to the cabin here in the coming weeks and shoot it at some distance and just see what I can do. And I'm an okay pistol shot, but might as well see what I can do at some distance with a better sight radius like that than a compact or, even micro compact of those small little guys. So going over some of the quick specs from SIG itself, the overall length of the firearm is 8 inches, the overall width is 1.6 inches, the height is 5.5 inches, the barrel length is 4.7 inches, and the weight of it is 29.6 ounces. I will roll the other features in here as well. Takedown on it is very simple, just like all the other P320s. Start with the magazine, lock the slide to the rear, rotate the release lever down, and then just let it go, and off she comes. So, grip module, just like all the other P320s, the fire control unit can come out of this thing. And then takedown is your stock standard guide rod and spring assembly, and then the big barrel, and your slide. So very simple, very easy to take down. Biggest difference on this being a full-size slide is that it has this extra encapsulated front end, if you will. But everything else is just P320-ish. So very straightforward, it's very easy to take apart, very easy to clean and maintain, and very easy to reassemble and get back on the fight. If I can get this in. It's very easy to put back together. Just gotta wiggle around a little bit to get that spring in there. Voila. Good to go. And then just slide it back on, lock the slide to the rear again, rotate the takedown lever. Good to go. Magazines, when you buy it brand new, it comes with a 17 rounder as well as two 21 rounders. And all of the sight holes, if you go around the right hand side. Cool thing about the 21 rounders, when you put it in the grip, because the grip has that notch so you can strip magazines out of it, but on the right hand side you can see there's a hole so you can see if it is a fully loaded magazine as well. They do continue a little bit of grip onto these 21 rounders. The 17 rounder is a flush fit. You can still do the strip out of there if you need to, but there's no additional texturing on it. So that is my basic, just quick overview and thoughts on the Sig P320. I like it quite a bit. Being a full-size handgun, the recoil impulse is very nice. That big slide moving back and forth, just, not that 9mm is, you know, hard to shoot by any means, but it really tamps it down being a full size, and then you've got a lot of just real estate for your hands to get on, so you can get a really good hold of it, and just, it's a fun shooting pistol. It's very pleasant. My other half actually likes shooting it quite a bit. She tends to enjoy full-size handguns because it tampers down the recoil. So yeah, it's a solid gun. I really enjoy it. I will continue to shoot it and track the progress on it, and if something happens I will let you know as always. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. I'm continuing to enjoy the growth of the channel and watching the response. So we appreciate that. If you don't mind, if you have Instagram, pop on over there to northwoods.nobodies and give us a follow. I'm trying to grow that. Being as hunting season is coming up, the videos may slow down a little bit. And just because I'm going to be traveling to do some hunting, I will continue to update the Instagram. And that'll be the best way to track hunting journeys and escapades, if you will, there. So northwoods.nobodies on Instagram. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you.